What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to week 2 of Taco Tuesday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed last week, and if this is your first time here, welcome. We're making tacos all throughout the summer. Today we're going to be making a flank steak taco with a Guajillo Chile marinade and a little fresh cilantro salad to boot. Super simple, lots of good flavors in this one. Let's hop back into the video and make these tacos. Steak is the name of the game, but let's go over our marinade ingredients first. We have salt, sugar, oregano, garlic, Guajillo chilies, oil, and some apple cider vinegar. These beautiful Guajillo chilies are the same ones I used in the chilaquiles video, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But basically all we need to do is just clear off our workspace, and then we're going to snip these and remove the seeds from the inside. And you want to splay them out flat like this because we're going to be putting them on the burner to toast them, and it's a lot easier if they're nice and splayed out so we get all that surface area. So we've got our cast iron heated, and all we have to do is just throw our Guajillo chilies down on the cast iron and just give them a nice press so we're getting all the surface area that we can get and start to get that browning on the outside. And this is going to give us so many more flavor compounds and bring out the true flavors of these dried chilies once we go ahead and rehydrate them. Definitely do not skip this, and if you've never tried it, definitely give this a shot. You can see we've got these nice brown bits on the outside. So all I'm doing is moving our toasted chilies over to a bowl, and I need to pour hot water over the chilies to rehydrate them for our Guajillo Chile Puree that we're going to make. After 30 minutes, these will be basically completely rehydrated, and they almost look like a fresh chili. You can see in the texture right on screen. Now we're going to make some Guajillo Chile Puree, and all that means is throwing these in a high-powered blender with some water. And you don't want to use the water from the Guajillo chili because it can be a little bit bitter, so you want to use a fresh cup of water. And then blitz this on high until everything is combined. Look at that beautiful Guajillo Chile Puree, and we're not going to use all of this in the marinade, so this can be saved for other uses. Now we need to just crush up our garlic, or whatever your preferred method is. And then to prepare our marinade, all we're going to do is throw everything in a simmering sauce pot. So we just want to simmer down this garlic, come in with that beautifully red Guajillo Chile Puree, an extra third cup of water, and then our sugar, the apple cider vinegar, the oregano, salt, and then just stir that up and let those flavors mix for like 2 minutes. And then we pour it off into a nice marinade, and we're actually not going to be pre-marinating the meat. We're going to do something different for this recipe. So we're going to salt and pepper both sides of this flank steak, but we're not going to apply the marinade before we actually grill or sear this, and it's for a couple reasons. One, marinades make it hard to get a nice sear on the outside, and really we want the flavor from the marinade, so we're going to apply the marinade after the steak is already cooked. So I'm getting a ripping hot cast iron and just tossing our flank steak on here, letting it get a nice sear on both sides. And then once this is done, we'll slice it up and apply our marinade. And I like doing this, and if you've never tried it, I think you should really give it a shot. It's just a lot easier, a lot less messy, and I find I get a lot better results. So we've let our steak rest for at least 5 minutes, and I'm just going to cut these into slices across the grain. And you'll see these pieces I'm slicing off are probably around medium doneness, though as we go further back into this flank steak, it actually gets thicker, so some of those pieces are going to be medium rare or even rare. So be able to account for that when you're cooking these in your doneness, and especially if it's for a crowd, different people like different cuts. So this is actually a good steak to do. You can kind of get the front thinner portion in a nice medium, and then you can get the back rare for people who like rare. And here's this comparison I was talking about. These are both from the same flank steak, cooked exactly the same, but you can clearly tell that the different pieces are different doneness. And if you don't want those rare pieces, undercooking the steak is the mistake to make, because we can always just go back and sear these pieces off to get a nice little extra brownness. Anyway, let's apply our marinade, and I'm telling you, this is the way to do steak. Because even if you marinate a steak or something, you never really taste the marinade all that much. They don't penetrate deep into the meat, and really it's lost flavor. I mean, you can make a great tender steak with just salt and pepper, and then freshen it up with that marinade to give you all those nice acidic flavors that pair so well with grilled meats. And this is also the best way to make leftovers too, because you can heat up the pieces of steak in like a frying pan with some of that marinade, and you are absolutely good to go. To serve these, you can cut these up into little cubes if you wanted to, cut them into little chunks like half an inch big, or just leave them as whole slabs. Before we get to our tacos, we just have to build a little cilantro salad. So here's a shot of our ingredients, and this is the first time I've used only cilantro in like a dressing, and it turned out pretty well. So first we just want to slice up a lime slice and spritz this into our vinegar just to give a little contrast with our acidic ingredients. Toss in some mayo, give that a nice stir, and then toss in some cotija cheese, which is a Mexican crumbly cheese that is often applied to tacos. It's nice and salty, so we don't need extra salt in this dressing. Just give this thing a taste, toss it with your fresh cilantro, and you have a super easy topping that's a little bit more dynamic and complex than just throwing on some cilantro, even though that is great in its own right. Taste test share ready. Tortillas, just steam these in the microwave for like 20 seconds. But this one's super basic. Just some nice steak marinated after we seared it, tossed cilantro salad. So let's throw a couple of slices on here and give this thing a taste test. A little pickled jalapeno. Not much spice in this taco, which I would have liked to have a little bit more spice. The Guajillo chilies are kind of that rich and complex flavor. They're not really there for the spice. So we're gonna add a little bit extra crunch with some pickled jalapenos. And that's a really good bite right there. The steak is nice and juicy, tender. We've got the nice freshness from the cilantro mixed in with that acidity from our little dressing that we made. And if you're not a big fan of cilantro, definitely just mix it with lettuce or any other kind of green. That'd be great too. Pickled jalapeno were a welcome addition. Luckily I had those in the fridge for some extra crunch. Although I'm still missing my pickled onions from last week. I already finished them. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to finish this taco. Definitely drop me a subscribe and like if you have enjoyed the content. And I will see you guys next week.